Hey guys and girls, it is a beautiful, gorgeous Sunday afternoon here in southern Oklahoma. Sunday afternoon, that's right. I missed last Sunday afternoon. Many of y'all reminded me of that, and I sure did. And I'm not like a politician. I have nobody to blame. I can blame no one but myself. I just got a super busy 4, 5, 6 day period there, and I just absolutely forgot. What can I say? I forgot. I guess at my age, I'm inclined to forget a little bit. But I can't believe that's the first Sunday afternoon that I forgot since we started doing these Sunday afternoons. And the weather's beautiful here in Oklahoma. But let me tell you, this morning when we got ready to go to church, it was a light running 29 degrees. That's right, 29 degrees this morning. It's just amazing. We had frost on the ground. It's freezing, below freezing, and it was just incredible. It was just cold. That's all there is to it. I told Chris, and she just about tried to back out of going to church with me. But we went to church. We had a great church, and we saw a lot of animals on the way out. I told Chris, I said, I said, this is like a zoo when we go out of here. This is a Twin Eagle Ranch Zoo is what it is. And we watch it. We see the animals as we go out, elk and deer. And we did not see any turkey this morning, but we saw several different elk. Some of them even laying down. We saw some deer laying down in a couple of places. That was really, really a cool deal. And I always love to see a deer laying down in the wild. That means that they're content, they feel safe, they don't feel any danger, and it's just a great feeling. You know, we all like to have that feeling. We all like to have the feeling of being safe and secure and not having any danger. And I got to tell you, for me, when I get around the cities, it's hard for me to feel that way. I can feel that way out here in the woods, but it's hard for me to feel that way in the cities. This last weekend, let me tell you what happened this Sunday. You know, I left the ranch last Tuesday. I took Chris over to Sherry's to spend a few days while I went out and worked. We had some great shows last weekend. So many, thousands of people at both shows. So many people showed up. So many people came. And I just appreciate y'all coming and visit. I really appreciate all of you coming to our seminars that we did there. And we had lines for 3 or 4 hours for autograph lines. I just thank you from the bottom of my heart. One of the reasons I keep going out and doing those seminars is I try to pay back to this wonderful game of fishing and the outdoors and the television show, what it's done for us, how, and it's provided a living for us and for several people that work in the television show. It's provided a living for them, sent kids to college, and just absolutely done an amazing thing for a lot of people. So I just want to thank you all I can. That's the reason I keep going to shows. And I'll tell you about where some shows I'm going to be at the rest of this month. The rest of this month is pretty busy also. Not like last week, though. After driving Chris over to Sherry's, it's only a couple 100 miles up there to Sherry's. After doing that, I spent Wednesday and drove 560 miles to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, dragging my Ranger boat. And I took my Ranger boat over there and put it in the big show in the downtown Convention Center there in New Orleans, River City Convention Center, I think they call it. Beautiful convention center right in the middle, right in the heart of Baton Rouge. And I stayed there at a Hilton and overlooking the river. I opened my window, my shades on the room, the beautiful room they had for me, and looked at that river and watched the boats go up and down that river. But I got over there that evening and put my boat in the show, and that was on a Wednesday. And I went over there Thursday and spent, I drove down there Wednesday. I went over there Thursday morning and put the boat in the show Thursday morning. Spent all that day cleaning the boat up, getting it spit shined and polished and getting it all cleaned up. I had cleaned it before I left, but I drove over there, and of course the water on the highways and the little bit of a rain shower we had, so it got pretty dirty on the way over. The inside was clean. I had a cover on it, and the inside was clean, so that worked out okay. But I got our boat all cleaned up, and I got on an airplane about 7:30 that night and flew to Cincinnati, Ohio. That was on a Thursday night. Got in there actually I landed a little bit after midnight. By the time I got to my hotel room and I got checked in and everything, got up to the room, it was 1:30 in the morning. I got up the next morning and went to the Great Outdoor Expo, a great show which put on by Dave Hoheschel, a friend of mine who puts on shows around Cincinnati, Cleveland, Columbus, several areas up there, and he just does a great job with his shows. His shows are just really good, really good. One of my fishing buddies from a long time back, Britt Champman from Kansas, professional bass fisherman, really good fisherman, was there also doing seminars. Several crappie guys that I met, they had seminars, pretty much both days, Friday and Saturday. And I had a packed house at my seminar and just really love that. Thank you so much. The second one, we didn't have very many there, so we really had a lot of fun at that one. But it was getting kind of the end of the day Saturday, and I was about ready to, I guess that was the end of the day Friday when we did that second seminar. But we had a lot of people there both days, Friday and Saturday. And it was just a lot of fun. I just enjoy visiting with y'all. I visited with a lot of people up there. Just had a great time in Cincinnati. I got to go out and have dinner with a couple of my buddies, world champion archers, Bill Eppards and his buddy Joey and their wives. And we had a great dinner, and Bill bought me dinner. I really appreciate that. Or maybe Joey might have bought it. I'm not really sure, but I think maybe Joey's wife bought it. So I just kept thinking of it, kind of thinking. Left my iPhone laying there on the table at Ruby Tuesdays. That's right, left it laying there. I called them. They had it. Had to go back out there and get it. You know, I'm surprised I hadn't caught a bass on my red man spinnerback, because when I walked down through the pier, I saw one swimming in shallow water. It's the first one I've seen swimming up there this year. And it was about a 2-pounder, because that's why I wanted to pick up my rod here and thought I could throw and crank and talk at the same time. But I had a great meal with Bill and Joey, and hopefully going to get to do some turkey hunting maybe with them this spring, and maybe some bow hunting with them this fall. I bow hunted with Bill really all over the world. We've hunted in a lot of places. I took him on a peacock bass trip down to Brazil with me, or I don't know if I think maybe Venezuela or Colombia, I don't remember which. But I've been all over down there chasing those peacock bass. But so anyway, we'd work that show there Friday and Saturday. Saturday night, I took the last plane out of Cincinnati, flew back through Atlanta, back down to Baton Rouge, got to the Hilton there about 12:30 that night, and then got up and worked from 9 o'clock that morning when the show opened till 5 o'clock that evening when it closed. We had a big crowd there at the show. The show is put on by Shell. Actually, Shell is one of the main sponsors. I saw that Cane's Chicken was a sponsor there too, which was really a good sponsor because I love Cane's Chicken. But we spent that day there with the Shell Rotella boat and just had a great time with all the Shell people. Shell had a lot of their people out there. Shell has got a big refinery in Baton Rouge, so they have several thousand employees, maybe like 3,000 or 4,000. I never asked anybody, so I don't know really how many, but a lot of employees down in Louisiana. Louisiana is a very great place for Shell and the Shell employees. And I visited with a lot of employees, visited with a lot of people all around there up there. That was a great show as well. Had a great hunting department upstairs, had a lot of fishing downstairs, and it was really, really neat. I helped a local high school fishing team there stock fish in the tank where they were doing their seminars. I didn't do any seminars. All we did is sign and visit with the people. So we had a great time there on that Sunday afternoon. And then the show was over at 5 o'clock. I got my Ranger boat hooked up behind my Ram truck, Expressway Ram truck, 560 miles back home, headed home. 560 miles to Sherry's house, another 200 miles back home. My granddaughter Jordyn, my beautiful granddaughter Jordyn, you know, the light of my life, she called me about 1 o'clock. She said, "Granddad, what are you doing?" And now we've got that Life 360 app on our phone, so we all know where everybody in the family is all the time. And a couple of them don't want us to know. They don't tune in there. But Jordyn's always got hers on. I leave mine on because I don't care. I want them to know where, and they may have to come find me someday. You know, I want them to know where my phone is. But anyway, and I said, "Well, honey, I'm driving home. I've been working all weekend. I'm driving home." And she said, "Well, you're too old to be doing that." And I said, "What? Pardon me? What are you saying? Pardon me?" And she said, "Granddad, you're too old to be driving home at 1 o'clock in the morning." And I said, "Well, honey," I said, I'm only about 180 or 200 miles away. I'm not far from home. I just don't want to stop." And she said, "How far have you driven?" I said, "Well, the whole trip's 560 miles. I'm only a couple hundred miles, maybe." So I said, "I'm going to go on into Sherry's house, and I don't have to get up early tomorrow. I can sleep in a little bit," which I did. And she said, "Well, you shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be driving 560 miles." I said, "Jordyn, I drove 560 miles down there Wednesday." She said, "Yeah, but you didn't do it at 3 o'clock in the morning." Anyway, I got back to Sherry's house about 3:30, something like that. So anyway, that was good. That was all good. You know, one of the things that I do when I go on all those trips, and anytime I get on an airplane or I get on the city, I always do a lot of praying. I keep telling God, just keep me safe. Just keep me safe, and let me be a light to everyone I come in contact with. Let me be part of the solution and not part of the problem, no matter what kind of situations we get involved in. And God's kept me safe. You know, I did how many did I do? 2, 4, 6, 8, maybe 8 airplane flights, and drove 560 miles 2 ways. And then was in those cities. I remember there in Cincinnati, I was walking back to the hotel there in the evening, and I thought, I don't like to be walking in the middle of Cincinnati in the middle of the night. I love Cincinnati. I've done a lot of hunting and fishing in that area. We were there just the other day opening up a new Bass Pro Shop store in Cincinnati. So it's a favorite town of mine, a favorite area of mine, with the exception of the city of Cincinnati. It's pretty much rural around there. Folks, just like we have here in Oklahoma around Cincinnati, Ohio, as a matter of fact. But anyway, that is the reason, no excuses, but that is the reason that I did not, I just, you know, it was after dark that night. I was driving along 10 or 11 o'clock at night, and I thought, oh my gosh, I just did not do that. Just not do that. But anyway, I want to really thank everybody for all of that, and I want to talk about something special I noticed walking through the parking lot. Walking through the parking lot at church this morning. I'm going to move over here just a little bit because I didn't get a bite. I threw at the bank over here and did not get a bite. I'm kind of slow rolling that spinnerbait down over the top of the grass out there, hoping something bites it. There hadn't been many fish up here around the dock at all. They were here for a little bit, and then the cold weather come in. They moved back out, but I'm going to go out on the lake tomorrow and Tuesday with my buddy Dennis Hamel, a couple of his grandkids. We're going to go search for them. We're going to find them. They're not going to have to be here at the dock like today. One's got to be around this dock if I want to catch him, but they don't have to be. We're going to go out on the lake and look for them tomorrow and have some fun the next couple of days out there with those kids and my long time hunting and fishing buddy, Dennis Hamel. But anyway, I want to talk about, and don't let me forget, but I want to talk about something that I kind of crossed my mind as I was pushing Chris through the parking lot at church this morning, and I hope I don't forget to talk about that. But I did want to mention also, I've got several appearances coming up between here and the end of the month. I really enjoy so many of you that came out and visited in Baton Rouge and Cincinnati at those shows. It's really a thrill for me, especially when people come up and ask about Chris and how's Chris doing, and they tell me that they've been praying for Chris. That's awesome. That is just so awesome. You know, on our main channel on YouTube, Jimmy and Chris Houston's Twin Eagle Ranch channel, we've had 124,000 subscribers on that channel for actually over a year. 124,000 something, 200, 300, 400 up and down, but it hadn't really changed at all. And yet, as I go around the nation, now we do have 660,000 people on Facebook, but our Facebook is growing. It's grown probably 5, 6, 7, 8,000 already here in 2024 in just a little over a couple of months. But and our Instagram account is about to hit 50,000. No, it's about to hit to 50,000. About to go to 50,000. Instagram is. TikTok's just about 90,000, getting close to 90,000. All of those channels are growing, and yet our YouTube channels are just not growing at all. The fishing channel and Catch a Better Life channel is growing slowly, so I don't know what the deal is on YouTube. But as I go around the country, it doesn't matter where I go. I run into people that are visiting with us and following us, and on social media, people are praying every day for Chris, and the only place they could ever hear about the situation with Chris is right here on social media. So I'm not believing those numbers. I'm just not believing them. I don't care what anybody says. They can say whatever they want, but I'm just not believing them, because I can have a seminar with 500 people there and ask how many's on our YouTube channel, and half of them raise their hands. Ask how many on social media, and 3/4 of them will raise their hands. It doesn't matter if it's in Cincinnati or Atlanta or California or wherever it is. It doesn't matter, you know. So we know we got a lot of folks out there. They're just not counting for us, but that's okay. We don't really care about that. But it would be nice to see that channel keep growing, like all the other social media channels that we have is growing. But I've got some appearances coming up here pretty quick this coming Thursday night. Let's see, is that this week? Yeah, that's this week. This coming Thursday night, I'll be at a banquet in Columbia, South Carolina, a fundraising banquet there, and I will try to put some information up on that throughout the week if some of y'all want to come to that banquet. I don't know if it's open to the public or not really, but we'll try to figure out what that is, and I'm doing it for some friends of mine there in that Columbia, South Carolina area and Virginia area. But we'll be there on a Thursday night speaking at that banquet and having a lot of fun, meeting everybody. My buddy Roland Martin will be with me, so Roland will be speaking at the banquet as well. And can't believe I can't get a bite. But I've been doing this a lot. I haven't been getting many bites down here. I usually catch one or two, though. I haven't caught that one yet. But I'm not really concentrating on my fishing. You know, to catch a fish, you need to be concentrating. You need to be really thinking about one, getting a hold of it every cast out there. But we'll be in Columbia, South Carolina for that banquet next Thursday night. I think that's March 21. The next day, Roland and I will be at the Palmetto Sports Show. Now, that's the only way they'll be there. I think that sports show is all weekend. It's a tremendous show, a great show, a huge show, a big show. Just about everybody in South Carolina and North Carolina attends that show. It's huge audiences. But Roland, Martin, and I'll both be there Friday. Now, we'll only be there Friday. That's it. We won't be there Saturday and Sunday. We'll be there Friday until, I think, about 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. It seems like both of us have an airplane out of there about 6 o'clock. Roland is flying back to Tulsa. He'll be at the Bassmaster Classic in Tulsa on Saturday and Sunday. And he will be. I've skipped a weekend. I've skipped a weekend here. I'm down to the Bassmaster Classic weekend on that particular weekend. That's not this coming Thursday. That's not this coming Thursday when I'll be at the Palmetto show. This coming Saturday and Sunday, I'll be at the Major League Fishing Championship. Their championship, their end of the year tournament, and we'll talk about that in a second too. So what I did is I skipped a week. I forgot about a week there. You know, a lot of times I wake up, I don't have a clue where I am. I don't have a clue where I am. When I wake up and look out and see this lake, I know I'm home, and that's a good deal. I always know when I'm home. I always know when I'm home. But anyway, on that, that's the Thursday night to 21, Friday the 22nd, we'll be at that show. Saturday, Roland Martin will be at the Bassmaster Classic. He will be in the White River Marine booth probably the most of the time, and which is the Ranger booth, Tracker booth, Nitro booth, Tahoe, and Bass Pro Shop booth. He'll be there most of the time. Now, on Friday night, I will be flying from Columbia over to Charleston, West Virginia. And on Saturday, I will be in Summerville, West Virginia, at the big outdoor show there in Summerville, West Virginia. And that'll be a great show as well. I'll be there all day long, flying out of there that night, Saturday night. That's Saturday, March 23. That's when I'll be there, Saturday, March 23, at that Summerville, West Virginia show on Saturday. Roland Martin's going to Tulsa. I'm going to Summerville, West Virginia. I'll be there Saturday only. Saturday night, I fly back to Tulsa. I'll be at the Bassmaster Classic on Sunday. Sunday only, Sunday, March 24th. That's the only day I'll be there. I will be, I think, at 11 to 12. I'll be in the White River Marine. That's a Ranger Tracker Nitro booth. At noon, I believe I'll be in the Mercury booth for an hour. At 1 o'clock, I'll be doing a seminar. Not at the Bassmaster Classic. I'll be doing a seminar at the Major League Fishing Tournament. Oh, I'm messing these two deals up, aren't I? Just really stumbling through all this. But anyway, I'll be at that Classic. At 12 o'clock, I'll be in the Mercury booth. 1 o'clock, I think I'll be in the Right Height booth. Right Height turret, the people that make the turret that I use on my Tracker and on my Ranger, where I have my live scope transducer, an extra transducer. I use a transducer on my trolling motor and one also on that turret, where when I get on spot lock, I can still move that around, keep it on a brush pile, keep it on the fish that I'm trying to catch, whatever I want to do there. But that's the Bassmaster Classic. Okay, you confused? Columbia, South Carolina, Thursday and Friday. Summerville, West Virginia, Saturday, the Bassmaster Classic on Sunday. And then we're going to come down here. Roland Martin and Johnny Morris and I are going to fish for a couple days and then go out to Irvine, California. We'll be opening that Bass Pro Shop store in Irvine, California, Wednesday night, March 27. Wednesday night, March 27. The evening for conservation, where a good percentage of the money that's spent that night will go to conservation in that Irvine, California area. If you are anywhere close to Irvine, California, within 200 or 300 miles either way, you want to be there that night. It is amazing happening to see a Bass Pro Shop store opening. There'll be a lot of people there, a lot of famous people for autographs and stuff. Roland Martin will be there. Johnny Morris will be there. I don't know who else, but we'll have a lot of stars there. There'll be a lot of stars there. So you'll get some autographs, meet some people probably you'll never have a chance to meet. Meet Johnny Morris himself. I mean, that's an amazing deal in itself to meet Johnny Morris. You know, Johnny Morris qualified for the first 5 Bassmaster Classics. Had he not wanted to sell rod and reels and fishing tackle for a living, he'd have been one of the greatest tournament fishermen of all time. No doubt about it. But thankfully, he started to sell rod and reels for a living, and people like me and Roland had a chance to win a few tournaments. Mostly Roland, but I won a couple, but mostly Roland. Okay, now we left the one weekend out. I just blew right over it, and I didn't know, my mind is kind of cluttered with all these appearances coming up. I almost have to look at the calendar to know where I'm supposed to go and what I'm supposed to do the next day. This coming weekend, I am flying to Birmingham, Alabama. On Friday night. I'll be there Saturday and Sunday at the Major League Fishing, the MLF Championship, their year-end event. and I'll be there from 9 o'clock until the show closes on both Saturday and then Sunday until I've got to go get an airplane. Probably only be there Sunday maybe till about 3 o'clock or something like that. But I'll be there on that Saturday and Sunday. And now Bass Pro Shop and White River Marine, Tracker boats, Ranger boats, Triton boats, Nitro boats, they'll have a big display there, and I'll be in their booth pretty much all of the time. I think I will be over in the Mercury booth about noon. That's when I'll be in the Mercury booth about noon. And I do give a seminar there at the Major League Fishing Championship at 1 o'clock. So if y'all want to get there and get involved in that seminar, we should have a packed house. However big their seminar area is, it should be full. But get over there, and I'll be there all day on Saturday and probably till about 3 o'clock on Sunday. So that kind of covers the appearances for the rest of the month. Now, I just apologize for getting all my dates messed up, but I skipped that. I skipped this weekend. I knew that, this weekend I go to Birmingham, the following weekend to the Bassmaster Classic with Columbia and Summerville, West Virginia, fixed in between. Last Wednesday of the month, Irvine, California. That's an easy way to remember it. If you're in those areas, we'll talk about this maybe a little bit more before the end of the week out, so y'all keep straight where I am. I can't keep straight on it. But you're only concerned about where you're going to be. That's the main thing, where you're going to be. Wherever you're going to be, if you're anywhere around close to any of those events, those are all great, tremendous events. Okay, what I told Chris as I was pushing her through the parking lot. Now, we have one of those handicap stickers. We can park right up by the front of the church door, the front of a restaurant door, or the front of a hotel door, or whatever. We have one of those handicap deals that you hang on your rear view mirror. And now here in Oklahoma, I think they made it illegal for that thing to be hanging there. I think you got to only hang it up there, throw it out there in the middle to see if I can catch something. Can't catch anything thrown anywhere else. But I just leave mine up there all the time. So far, I hadn't got a ticket for having it hanging up there. But I don't park in the handicap areas. And just like at church, what I do is I park way out pretty far away. First of all, I certainly need exercise. I need to be walking as much as possible. The second thing is I'm not handicapped. I'm not handicapped. I don't, I'm going to bring Chris in a wheelchair and going to push her in a wheelchair, but I don't do that. Now, if it's really nasty weather, if it's raining or snowing or really, really cold, I will stop and let her off at the front door and then go park way out there and walk up there, because I believe those handicap places things are for people that, really sure enough, they can't walk. I can walk. And so we don't use it. But anyway, as we was walking through the parking lot, I got to thinking, it just sort of struck me about what a beautiful day it was. We had rain this week. God has protected me as I did all of that airplane flying in 2 really big cities, right downtown in both of those cities, and all the flying, all the driving 200 miles to Sherry's, 560 miles back in the middle of the night, even though my granddaughter Jordyn thinks I'm too old to do that. I'm not. And doing all that, thinking about what a blessing it was and how God answered all my prayers and protected me during that thing. And then I got to thinking, it seems to me like that just about everybody anywhere, if they've heard the good news about Jesus Christ, would become a Christian. I'm baffled when people don't accept God's salvation, when they don't accept the blessings that God has for them, when all they have to do is just believe in His Son, Jesus Christ, and ask Jesus to come into their heart and be their Lord and Savior. And then they just need to honor Him in what they're doing. They honor Him in their life every day. And Jesus will put His Holy Spirit in you and guide you and lead you and do all this stuff. And so it's always baffling to me when you have so many blessings, so many great things happen when you accept Jesus Christ as your Savior. It's baffling to me. I'd like to be blessed with a bass right now. It's baffling to me why people turn that down. Why people turn down salvation. Why they don't accept the price that Jesus paid by dying on that cross to pay for their sins. They continue to sin. They continue to live in their sin. And they continue to reject God. It's just amazing to me. And they continue to reject all of the great things that God does when a person gets saved. All the favor you live in. All the blessings you receive. And as I was walking through the parking lot, in church this morning, all of that kind of come to my mind because I was looking at all of these beautiful automobiles in our church parking lot. now we live in the country, so the majority of them are trucks, but there's a lot of nice cars there too. You know, I mean, Thunderbirds and Cadillacs and Lincoln Continentals and trucks like Suburbans and stuff like that. And big trucks like big 4-wheel drive, 3/4 ton, 1 ton Ram trucks like I drive. And I mean, it was just amazing. And the thought crossed my mind. I think that when a thought crosses your mind like that, as I was looking at all those nice vehicles, and guys like to look at vehicles, but I was looking at all those nice vehicles, the thought crossed my mind, you know, if people wonder if God blesses Christians or not, they ought to just drive through any church parking lot on Sunday morning and see all those $100,000 pickups sitting out there. $100,000 pickups. Now, I don't drive a $100,000 pickup, but I think my new Ram, the sticker is like $76,000 or $78,000, something like that. That's what the sticker price was on it. Now, you don't have to pay quite that much for them, but you go through any church parking lot. Go through any church parking lot. Next Sunday, even if you don't go to church, just drive by, just pull in and drive through a church parking lot and look at all those vehicles out there that those Christians are driving. And so if you ever wonder, if you ever doubt that God blesses Christians, that's a great way to do it right there. I think some of the preachers, I told my preacher and I told some of the deacons that this morning, they all started talking about, yeah, those trucks are really getting expensive. And, you know, I can remember when buying a new truck was $20,000, and now, I mean, that was a really hot dog truck. And now many, many trucks you buy are $100,000 trucks. And certainly $70,000 and $80,000 trucks, brand new trucks. You get 4-wheel drive and you know, even especially if you move up to 3/4 ton or 1/4. I drive half-ton trucks, but I just like the way they ride. They ride better. That was grass. I thought I had a bite. Scared me to death. Thought I had a bite. I've done a lot of throwing here and not got a bite, but I haven't been concentrating. I haven't been really trying to tick the top of that grass. I'm throwing and hoping is what I'm doing. I'm really not. I'm kind of fishing. I'm not really fishing. I'm kind of just fishing. That's when you just throw it out there, wind it back in, and you're hoping that something gets on the end of it. Not really concentrating on something getting up, just hoping. But God blesses his people. God is a rewarder. God promises to bless. He's going to bless every single person that he saves, every single person that comes to him and asks for salvation, asks for Jesus to come into their heart and save them, makes Jesus Lord of their life. He's going to bless you. He's going to bless your socks off. And now he'll do it in a lot of different ways. Blessings come in a million different forms. Some people look at blessings as having a lot of stuff, having rod and reels and spinnerbaits and boats and motors and those trucks we're talking about in those parking lots. Some people look at blessings as that. But blessings come in a million forms. Blessings come in a million forms. One of the blessings I look at in my life, 79 years old, fishing, running around the country, having fun, doing personal appearances. And I'm healthy. I've only spent one night in a hospital in my life. Blessings are things like keeping my beautiful Chris alive after a stroke that the doctor said would kill her. The doctor said would kill her. And here we are, come April 5, will be 3 years. 3 years, and she's still alive and well and getting better all the time. Now, she's not completely healed. She's not completely healed. Why has God not completely healed her? I don't know. And I don't question God about that. But I know he's going to. I know he's going to. I know she's going to walk again. I know she's going to fish again. I know that beautiful voice will come back and be clear as a bell. Sometimes she says sentences and every word is perfect. And other times she might as well be speaking in Cherokee, and which I cannot understand very much Cherokee. I can understand a little bit of it. Probably not the words that she would be saying, just to be honest. But anyway, blessings comes in all forms. Blessing comes in a form that 3 years later she's still alive. She's still with me here at the ranch, enjoying things. We really like sports. She's enjoying the Oklahoma softball girls again. You know, Patty Gasso's a friend, and they've got their 71 game winning streak broke, but now they've got another 6 or 7 or 8 game winning streak already started back again. Lost to number 2 in the nation, but lost the number 1 ranking, and now they're number 2. Probably going to jump back to number 1 this week because our friends down in Texas got beat by Houston, another Texas team. And I think that just as this opening weekend in the Big 12, we're the only undefeated team that won all 3 games. So we're sitting at the top of the Big 12 trying to win the 12th Big 12 softball championship in a row. 12 in a row, 111 in a row. So Chris enjoys that a lot. She enjoys all the basketball, the football, all things about Oklahoma University sports. She enjoys watching Dodger baseball games. And she just enjoys being here at this ranch. She has so much fun just looking out the window and watching the deer walk in the yard, looking at the lake. And I told her yesterday evening, I said, I'm going to walk down to the dock and make a few throws. And I didn't catch a fish, by the way. I got 2 bites, missed one of them. I hooked the other one, and it come unbuttoned. Which is better than I've done this afternoon. But anyway, she said, well, I think I'll go down to the dock with you. Just as plain as day, I think I'll go to the dock with you. And I said, you want to go to the dock with me? And she said, wherever you go, I'll go. And so that just, you can't imagine how much that thrills me. But that's the blessings. That's blessings right there. Blessings is health. Blessings might be, you know, looking at a wife that you've been married to for 20 years or 30 years or 40 years or 60 years, like me. What a blessing. What a blessing that is. It might be like having beautiful kids, like my beautiful daughter Sherry, my son Jamie. It might be having, oh, what a blessing that is. Having wonderful grandkids. I talked to one of my granddaughters today, Stormy, on the way home. Talked to her and I said, when you coming down, Stormy? And she said, I was hoping to come down spring break, but I think I'm going to go to Branson, to Silver Dollar City. So I lost out to Silver Dollar City. But her brother Lightning's coming down and spending 3 or 4 days during spring break. Blessings is friends, like my buddy Dennis is coming down tomorrow. Blessings is every single day getting up and seeing the sunrise. It's sitting and watching the sunset in the evening. Blessings is having a great friend. Blessings is having food on the table. Blessing is just breathing and living, and blessings belonging to a great church. Blessings having friends. Blessings got so much more that to do with money. You know, I love old cowboys and old westerns, and we see the way people live, and they're drawing water from a well, or they're taking, they can't turn a spigot on and have hot water come out of it. And when that first happened, the only cold water came out, not hot. So all of this kind of stuff, that so much of the stuff that we take for granted here in the United States is a blessing from God. And does non-Christians, they have all that stuff available to them too? A lot of those $100,000 trucks driving up and down the highway are being driven by non-Christians. But can I tell you, God is blessing every Christian in this world, certainly here in the United States, even though we as a country have turned our back on God. We as a country have disobeyed. But as individuals, so many of us out here have not bowed our knees to Baal. So many of us still try to honor God in everything we do. And can I tell you, when you do, it unleashes blessings after blessings after blessings after blessings. So if you wonder about Christians being blessed, drive through a church parking lot on a Sunday morning, and you will see we're blessed because the bugs are coming out because it's so nice and warm. Even though it was 29 degrees this morning, should have frozen his little bug off, I think. But we are so blessed. And if you're a born-again Christian, count your blessings. Count them one by one. If you're not, you make Jesus Christ Lord of your life, and you're not going to believe how the rest of your life goes. Not only on this earth, but throughout all eternity. Blessings abundantly. Blessings abundantly. Guys and girls, have you a great one out there. And remember, I sure do love you.